Hi everybody, I am Mike the Heal Your Gut Guy, and I suffered from Crohn's disease, which is much worse than IBS, but I've helped many people heal from IBS. And we do that. So as you watch this video, I want you to be open to something new. I'm going to show you something you've never seen before, whether you're in the modern, you've been studying modern medicine a lot, or whether you've been studying like holistic or Ayurvedic. I'm going to show you something you've never seen before. Completely different concepts that when I used and that when my students used, they got better. They got rid of all of their food intolerances in just a few days, and they packed on 10, 20 pounds in just a month. It is possible, but you got to try this new thing that I'm going to show you. That it's called German New Medicine. So when we're attacking any problem, not just digestive issues, but any issue, like your boat's sinking and there's holes in the hull of the boat, what do? We address the root cause of the problem. We plug the holes in the boat. It's just common sense. Why aren't we doing the same thing in medicine or investing any research money into figuring out what the root cause is? Well, a doctor's already done that. His name is Dr. Hammer, and he's the guy who discovered German New Medicine. But before I share with you the root cause, we have to understand what IBS is. We need to find the root cause, but we first need to understand what IBS is. And as you watch this video, leave a comment down below. Hit the subscribe button, because I come out with videos almost every day on how to heal your gut with this new system. I'm going to show you how your body works. Every single day I'm going to share with you something about your body that you didn't know. Leave a like, leave a comment. This helps us in the algorithm. This information can save somebody's life. How much value is IBS stealing from you? IBS can, I know there's some doctors that say it can't and some that say they can. They don't know what they're talking about. IBS can turn into colitis, then ulcerative colitis, then diverticulitis. These are diseases that can kill somebody. By you leaving a comment and leaving a like, this helps get this life-saving information to somebody. You can save a life just by leaving a comment. I know it sounds dramatic, but it's the truth. Let me know if you've had success using my methods, using German New Medicine. Let me know what you've tried. If you don't like something about my video, let me know so I can I get that feedback and learn how to communicate better to you guys. So IBS stands for Irritable Bowel Syndrome. And the flip side of that is inflammatory bowel disease. But as we see in modern medicine, they don't use the terminology the way that is intended. And there's IBS-D, which stands for IBS, somebody with like a lot of diarrhea. There's IBS-C, somebody who has a lot of constipation. And then there's IBS-M, and that's like a mix. Somebody has constipation and diarrhea. I'm going to explain all this, and all that's what's going on. So IBS can be described as a less severe version of colitis. But the main point we want to make here, when someone's talking about IBS, they should be talking about something that's affecting the colon. And again, the way that modern medicine operates, it's usually kind of like a weak BS diagnosis. They're like, I don't know what's wrong with you, I'll just give you IBS. But either way, IBS is inflammation or irritation of the colon. And you got to recognize, when you go to do a colonoscopy and they have you fasting for a day or two and drinking a bunch of water and all that stuff, or maybe just time passes between when you had symptoms and then it takes like a month or two to schedule a diagnosis, what's happening here can completely change. There's variables at play, the biggest one being stress. And the people who originally coined the term IBS in the 50s, their conclusion was that it was caused by stress. And it's very similar to what Dr. Hammer had to say, the founder of German New Medicine. So what is inflammation? So let's say this is an IBS case where there's inflammation. And all you with IBS, you're going to have some sort of inflammation in the colon, despite what your genius GI doctor might say. So inflammation is kind of treated like a cancer today. Oh, we got to cut it out. Oh, we got to suppress it with drugs. Oh, we got to suppress it with anti-inflammatory foods and blah, 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 blah. I want to heal my gut, but I want to suppress inflammation. Inflammation is the body's response to injury. It floods the tissue with water, which is part of the healing process. It floods the tissue with white blood cells, which is part of the healing process. It floods the tissue with what it needs to heal. The problem is that the inflammation won't go away. So it won't go away because the source of injury is still there. So the question becomes, what is injuring your gut? Because that's what's causing the inflammation. And the first thing people are going to think it is food. They think it's, oh, food's causing my IBS. The food's hurting my gut or hurting my colon. So the funny thing about this statement is that it logically doesn't make sense because food first has to go through your stomach, and by the time it gets to the small intestine, I mean, it's not even food anymore. It's like liquid slush. And then a lot of it gets absorbed in the small intestine, and and then it turns into poop. It's starting to turn into poop as it gets into the colon. It's not even what you ate. The only time where this happens is if someone has really spicy hot wings or spicy sauce or something, and those, when you eat something spicy, sometimes it comes out hot. That's like a food that can cause inflammation. But eating average everyday things like bread and milk and baby food and cheese, I understand you might be reacting to these foods, but it's not because of something physically in the food. It's only physically something when it's like a hot pepper or glass. And there are people who eat glass and drink gasoline and they eat metal and they're fine. I don't advise that, and it is important to eat healthy, but I want you to understand that you might be getting symptoms from foods, or it might appear you are getting symptoms from food. But we have to remember that our brain ultimately controls the colon. So what did Dr. Hammer see? He saw that everybody with IBS, if he looked at their brain CT scan, he would see a ring in a very specific location 100% of the time. And these rings were caused by conflict shock, stressful events that caught the person off guard, which takes us back to the people who coined IBS. They were like, yeah, this appears that it happens after a stressful event. So when someone is conflict active, their body, so for example, one person who had IBS, they caught their dad cheating on their mom, and they didn't know whether to tell their mom. They were afraid to confront their dad. They didn't know whether to tell their brother. They were super conflicted with the situation. They could not digest the situation. It's controlled by the brainstem, the oldest, dumbest part of the brain. It tries to digest things that aren't digestible. So to help out, to help digest this hard to digest, and this is how stupid the brain is. The colon doesn't digest food anymore. It just absorbs water, essentially. So, but it still behaves this way because it's part of the intestinal canal. So what's going to happen is it's going to develop extra gut cells. You'll see this on your colonoscopy as polyps, thickening of the cell wall. And so what this is going to produce extra digestive juices to help you digest your cheating dad. This is going to provide more surface area to help you digest this hard to digest thing in your life. Hard to digest and hard to absorb. And then when the conflict gets resolved, maybe the parents get a divorce, maybe you weren't on a date, I thought I saw something, I misinterpreted somehow the conflict gets resolved, the body goes, okay, I no longer need these extra gut cells, and it starts to get rid of them. Now, somebody with colitis, they're going to have really big growths, and they're going to experience the conflict very intensely. You know, somebody could see their dad cheating on their mom, and they go, oh, whatever, okay, whatever, I'm 18, I'm out of the house, doesn't affect me anymore. Somebody else could be traumatized to the core. It just depends on the person. It depends on how they experience it. And so someone who doesn't even experience it very intense, they're just going to have little growths. Maybe it's like on a microscopic level. You can only see it on the microscope, very little. And then when it gets resolved, you know, their symptoms are relatively minor. And what keeps this condition to be chronic that never goes away is that the source of stress doesn't go away, or it gets extended. You're constantly reminded of it, so you're like constantly on your toes. So let's say this person was out, they were having some ice cream, you know, they were at the ice cream parlor, you know, they were out having fun, and they saw their dad out on a date with another woman while they were eating ice cream. So now the subconscious mind sees, oh, well, ice cream. I'm eating strawberry ice cream, my favorite ice cream. What's your favorite ice cream? Leave it down in the... Guys, the comments help. Leave a comment because it could save somebody's life. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream? Or maybe you like gelato better than ice cream. Let me know. I like ice cream better. Actually, it depends on what mood I'm in. But generally, I like ice cream better. So you're eating the ice cream, and then you see your dad, you know, dating some other woman. And so now your subconscious goes, oh my God, last time, ice cream's dangerous because last time I saw something with last time I had ice cream, you know, my whole family structure was being, you know, hit with a sledgehammer. You might not be consciously aware of this, but your subconscious is. It's trying to keep you alive. It's trying to protect you from conflict. Conflict is a threat to your survival. So depending on what triggers, we call them tracks in German New Medicine, you have, can depend on the severity of this. You know, maybe every time you talk to your dad, maybe every time you feel like your friends are betraying you or lying to you, this might trigger the cell proliferation and the cell loss and cause symptoms. But essentially, this is the process that's going on. Until we can fully come to peace in every aspect of this situation, come to peace with every aspect of the situation, we're going to keep continuing to get symptoms. And then usually with this diagnosis, oh, the doctor's not telling us what's the issue, it's very frustrating, you know, the condition itself, you know, think about how much value IBS can rob from your life. Can't go out with friends anymore, can't go out on a date because you're afraid you're going to crap your pants every time, you know, your date hugs you. I haven't crapped my pants doing that, but I've definitely farted one too many times. It's not fun. So you need to ask yourself, what is the stress? What was I very stressed out about when my IBS started? And I was grown in a military family. Like, I'm not like a soft puddin' pop. But even the founders of even the people who coined the term IBS thought stress was a huge factor. Dr. Crohn's thought stress was a huge factor in Crohn's and colitis, you know, back in the 30s, back in the 90s, when doctors weren't drug dealers with a PhD, which most of them are now, especially gastroenterologists. But that's what's going on. If you want a more detailed explanation on what to do to get over this, I have a free 30-day guide. It's a video guide, and it comes with a PDF, a one-page PDF that shows you everything you need to do for 30 days to start to get your IBS under control. I've seen people get rid of all their food intolerances in just a few days. I've seen people put on, using this free guide right here, I've seen people put on like 10, 20 pounds in a month. And it's because we are addressing the root cause, which is stress. But you might have a lot of stress in your life. It's very a particular type of stress. Okay? So you have a choice right now. As this video is ending, you can go watch cat videos and go play video games or do something inconstructive, or you can add value to your life by watching this free guide that can change your life forever, to add value back into your life forever so you no longer have to deal with this nightmare IBFs. Thank you. That's all I got for today. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Please leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It can save somebody's life. Bye-bye.